Hey guys, it's your girl and I'm back in another reaction videos about a title. I'm reacting to Baton Rouge drill lyrics that really happened. I did Chicago, did Jacksonville, and I did the Bronx. So let me know what other state I should do.
With murders and robberies going down every day,
maybe states that I know of. You know,
anything can happen in the streets. Crazy enough, the music and news tell us all about it. Here are some Baton Rouge drill lyrics that have actually happened. Matter of fact, I used to call you my big brother. Then you did some foul and had sex with my sister. Then threw it in my face in front of people on Insta. I ain't gonna speak on that disease that y'all gave to each other. In this bar, YoungBoy is addressing his beef with another Baton Rouge artist named G Money, his childhood friend turned op. Although today NBA YoungBoy is at the top of the rap game and worth millions of dollars, the rapper had a rough childhood growing up on the streets of Baton Rouge. His father was sentenced to 55 years in prison, and he moved in with his grandmother at 10 years old. Not long after, he got involved in the streets and ended up dropping out of high school at 14 to pursue a rap career. In middle school, YoungBoy started running around with his friend Lil Hurt, and together they were breaking into houses and doing whatever else they could to make money.
There's no rapper or anybody in a gang who has a nice background. Well, some of them who wants to be gangs, which would be making no sense, but most of them just be having like no let me stop lying. Some of them really be having homes, but they just act like they don't have homes. But the real ones really be struggling, bro, and then they just turn to the gang.
Kirk was the young brother of a local rapper named G Money, who was a few years older than the two, but became like a big brother to YoungBoy. Shortly after dropping out of school, YoungBoy got arrested for robbery and was sent to one of the worst youth detention centers in the country. While he was locked up, his grandmother who raised him died due to heart failure. After getting out of juvie, YoungBoy was forced to ask his friends and family for food and shelter. The rapper even stayed with Lil Hurt and G Money for a while, who helped him get to the next stage in his rap career. G Money was affiliated with a gang and record label called TBG. Baton Rouge is divided into two sections. The upper section reps TBG, or Top Boy Gorillas, and the lower section reps BBG, or Bottom Boy Gorillas. So TBG was not only running the streets, they had also established a record label, launched themselves into the music industry, and G Money was one of their most promising artists. While YoungBoy was staying with them, G Money mentored him and helped him get signed to TBG. Around that time, G Money released a single iPhone 6, which featured a very young NBA YoungBoy and another up-and-coming Baton Rouge rapper, Fredo Bang. This song took off and established G Money as one of the hottest rappers in the city.
So it seemed like G Money was popping before YoungBoy.
YoungBoy also released his debut project with TBG called Life Before Fame, which failed to attract much attention. So G Money became the focus of TBG's marketing efforts, and YoungBoy was pushed to the side. Feeling like he wasn't getting the respect his talent deserved, YoungBoy eventually left TBG to focus on building his own label, NBA, his own crew, and his own brand. At that time, the rappers were still cool, but things would soon take a turn for the worse. In late 2016, NBA dropped the Project 38 Baby, which featured guest verses from major Baton Rouge artists like Kevin Gates and Lil Boosie.
I thought he was breaking down the lyrics, not telling us the background.
The title track blew up and established YoungBoy as a major threat in the music industry. He followed up quickly with Mind of a Menace 3, which was also well received. Many of these early tracks contained subtle disses at his former label and partners, but he didn't mention anyone directly by name.
Why didn't they just both collab?
He dropped a track called Chain off his project Before I Go, where he raps, YoungBoy, not TBG, NBA, it's a way of living.
I feel like they both were just in their feelings.
He gon' get it. Talk about it like I ain't with it. Name it that shook me, you know I ain't. You can save your breath, no advice tooken. What it is, I see you looking. In this bar, he officially announces that he's no longer cool with TBG, and if they have any problems, he's ready for whatever. After he left the label, it seemed like there was no bad blood between the two crews, and YoungBoy just made a personal decision to go the independent route to focus on building his own brand.
Nothing wrong with that.
With this track, he made it clear he's no longer rocking with TBG, and if they have any problems with him, he's ready for smoke.
I feel like
this track was basically a declaration of war and made it official that NBA doesn't rock with TBG, and they were official ops. On the same track, YoungBoy even name drops a few people who would later be involved in the beat. First he raps, cooling on the phone with Dump, talking about his manager, who can be seen riding around with him in the video, where YoungBoy is rapping along to the song. Dump would later be killed in retaliation for another murder in his deadly beat. Later in the song, he also raps, in the bottom with Deusa. Deusa's another rapper from Baton Rouge who YoungBoy was cool with before this whole beef popped off. But just a few months later, YoungBoy wouldn't be rocking with Deusa anymore after the rapper was allegedly involved in the murder of his cousin. In November 2016, another up-and-coming rapper from Baton Rouge named Boozilla was shot and killed. Boozilla happened to be YoungBoy's cousin, and his death set off the Retaliation
already reacted before?
Boozilla and YoungBoy had actually been beefing for a while, but just made up before his death. Internet rumors suggest that they fell out because YoungBoy finessed him for a pack, but they eventually straightened it out. Boozilla rapped BBG, who's known to beef with TBG. So after YoungBoy and Boozilla became tight again, they began to plot against TBG, which is why YoungBoy started dissing them in his music. After Boozilla was killed, YoungBoy was out for blood. Not long after his death, Boozilla had dissed Deusa, which is allegedly why he was killed. So YoungBoy and a few of his homies did a drive-by on the suspected killers, and the rapper ended up catching an attempted murder charge. This really escalated the beef between NBA and TBG, with G Money responding to YoungBoy's disses in his own music. YoungBoy narrowly beat the attempted murder charge after hiring an expensive team of lawyers who called in music industry executives to testify on his behalf. After spending about 8 months locked up, he was given a 10-year suspended sentence, which meant he'd be allowed to walk, but if he screwed up again, he's locked up again. Not long after being released from prison, he released the project Ain't Too Long.
How much time he done got locked up and he's still out?
He talks about his beef with G Money.
He got some good ass lawyers,
he
tell you
admits that
that
he
much.
once looked at the rapper as an older brother. But after G Money had sex with his sister and brags about it on social media, YoungBoy felt pretty disrespected. He also drops the bar, "When them killed my cousin, man, that made me wonder," showing that Boozilla's death also impacted his feelings toward TBG. Around the same time, G Money did an interview with Say Cheese TV where he admits that he did sleep with YoungBoy's sister, but it happened a long time ago, and YoungBoy wasn't tripping over it initially.
Not really. He mad about his sister too, though.
About his sister?
Yeah, I had her a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
He's like, okay, okay.
He wasn't really tripping on it back then, though. You know what I'm saying? He be calling me big brother and shit. You hear me? I guess.
But after he got famous and started making some money,
yeah,
he let his ego get the best of him and was tripping over old emotions he had kept bottled up. But the beef was far from over, and more diss tracks and bodies in this ongoing war were yet to come. This next bar is about an NBA affiliate who was tragically shot and killed in front of his girlfriend and family. Left him slumped under his car, he had his pistol. Lit Yoshi. Lit Yoshi is another rapper from TBG who got sucked into the beef later on after G Money was murdered.
Let me know if they're the only rappers from Baton Rouge. Like, I be feeling like they're the only ones. Like, I never hear anybody else. Like, they're just the only ones. Like,
YoungBoy and G Money have been trading diss
no
tracks
other
and
rappers?
making threats on social media. And one night, after G Money was leaving the studio, he was shot and killed. That put TBG at a major disadvantage.
I don't care what nobody say. If you're leaving from somewhere and you just so happen to get killed, I feel like it's a setup. Because out of any other time, any other places I be at, if I'm going to a studio, I get killed. Well, you know what I'm saying? The person gets killed. How did y'all know he was at the studio? Were you guys following? Like, I tell you, I be overthinking. Because, like, how did you know he was
their most
where he
popular
was?
artist now dead, while their other two most popular artists, Fredo Bang and Boulevard Quit, were in prison. So Lit Yoshi, one of TBG's deadliest shooters, started rapping just to throw shade at the NBA camp and keep the beef alive. In this bar, Lit Yoshi's rapping about YoungBoy's manager, Desmond Hardnett, aka Dump, who would become the next casualty in the war between NBA and TBG. By that point, YoungBoy had already become one of the most popular rappers in the industry who was selling out shows across the country. That made it near impossible for TBG to hit the rapper himself, so they went after the closest person they could. In May 2018, Dump was standing in the front yard with his girlfriend and other family members when shots were fired from a vehicle driving by. His girlfriend was also hit, and they were both brought to the hospital.
Stuff like this,
his girl
bro.
survived, but unfortunately, Dump passed away.
How did y'all know he was outside? Were you guys circling around? Were you guys watching him? Like I say, I overthink stuff. So it's like, were you guys watching him all the time? How did y'all know he was just standing there? Like, you know, like, how?
Was not known
like,
to be involved in
there's
the
no
street,
coincidence.
aside from his association.
You were
with-
just driving past and you just see him outside. Like, no.
But before getting into the music industry, he had worked in construction and landscaping. Family members claim that he didn't have any known enemies, so he clearly wasn't prepared for the attack that would take his life. According to Lit Yoshi, he had a pistol on him when he was killed, which is common for anyone in the South, even those who aren't in the street. But it was a surprise attack that no one saw coming, so he wasn't able to draw the weapon in time to protect himself.
That's so true, because he
Dump's
probably
murder is meant to send a
think he
message to
got
the
ops, but when you're around people like that, it's like, you gotta be.
It can't,
You gotta
and
be,
no one
you
is
know?
safe in the streets of Baton Rouge, and anyone affiliated with them can get caught up in the drama. The shooters were rumored to be Lit Yoshi and Boulevard Quick, who had just been released from prison not long before the shooting. But it wouldn't be long before NBA would keep the war going by dissing his ops on another track. He ran his mouth about topping them, got the drop, and then we popped him. NBA Young.
Not sorry to be pausing, but of course, YoungBoy is not going to say anything, or because he's at the top of he's the #1 artist, selling out shows. You know what I'm saying? #1 on the chart. You think he cares about you know what I'm saying? Like, he gonna send his, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you're like the big dog, bro, you don't get your hands dirty, bro.
Yo,
You don't get your
in
hands
this bar, YoungBoy is rapping about Boulevard Quick, who was rumored to be one of the shooters responsible for Dump's murder. Boulevard Quick was locked up at the time of G Money's murder. After he and Fredo Bang were both released, the two rappers went on a mission to hold it down for TBG and seek revenge for their homie's death. They started dissing YoungBoy any chance they could get. YoungBoy had been kind of quiet over the past few months, mainly because he had no one to beef with online after G Money was killed. But after Dump was murdered and TBG started back up with the disses, YoungBoy was right back to his old ways. It got so heated that YoungBoy's mom even jumped in and told her son's two rivals to f*** off and leave YoungBoy alone. Boulevard Quick responded and told her to mind her business, which YoungBoy wasn't happy about. Just a few weeks later, Boulevard Quick was shot to death outside the Lakeside Villa Apartments where he lived. The rapper was standing outside the apartment complex when he was shot several times.
Y'all know what I'm about to say.
This made him the second TBG rapper to lose his life in this beat. Boulevard Quick's death is believed to be direct retaliation for his involvement in Dump's murder, in addition to his constant dissing of YoungBoy and the comments he made toward the rapper's mom. So in this bar, YoungBoy is describing exactly what happened to Boulevard Quick. He started running his mouth, but didn't realize that YoungBoy still had goons all over the city. They caught him lacking in the parking lot of his own home, and the rest is history. After Quick was murdered, police started putting the pieces together that many of the shootings and murders going on in Baton Rouge were related to this beat. They started going after all TBG or NBA affiliates linked to any of the crimes, including Lit Yoshi, who's currently being charged with several attempted murder cases that came from this beat. An NBA affiliate named NBA Pat was also arrested for the murder of G Money, proving that the rapper was killed in retaliation for dissing YoungBoy. With all the other top rappers either dead or in jail, this left just Fredo Bang and YoungBoy to compete over who was the most dominant rapper in the city. YoungBoy is clearly the more popular and successful rapper at the moment, but all his street beefs and wild calls have gotten him into a lot of trouble. He was recently arrested on a federal firearms charge that may turn into a RICO case, which could potentially put the rapper behind bars for life. Although YoungBoy has always found a way to avoid serious jail time in the past, it seems like the Baton Rouge police and now the feds are caught on to what's going on in the TBG NBA war. They're looking to paint YoungBoy as a violent gang leader who's orchestrated hits on rival rappers like G Money and Boulevard Quick. And based on his own lyrics, it's too hard to get that impression as well. Hopefully, YoungBoy can stay on his best behavior and hire a good team of lawyers who will help him secure his freedom. But even if he does get out, it seems like it's only a matter of time before the rapper will be back in the streets. If you thought this video was crazy, be sure to check out our channel for more. From rappers and fights,
just stay out of trouble, bro. Like, come on, you got too much money, you got too much people to be taken care of. Like, just end it. Like, I never understood, like, these rappers, bro, they be having millions and millions of dollars, bro. I understand it's about respect or whatever, but it's like, bro, if I had millions and millions of dollars, the street life, I don't know nothing about that. Like, but I mean, you can still, I mean, if you still rap about it, it's like you're kind of still in it. But if I was in YoungBoy's shoes, what? All my ops could diss me. I don't care, cause who's on top? Who's making millions of dollars? Who's selling our shows, bro? Who got the boy hits? Y'all know? Oh, y'all quiet? Oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? If I was YoungBoy, I would be like, I wouldn't even diss nobody. But I can understand why he diss people, because you know how people just be like, you know what I'm saying? You just be like, you're like, it just starts boiling up, so you just like spaz on everybody. That's why I kind of figure why he's dissing people now, because I feel like he's been so quiet and people's been dissing him. So now he's just like, you know what? Now I'm about to get on my bully. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm about to show y'all where I started from. You know what I'm saying? From dissing people. And I'm gonna continue doing that. But comment down any other rappers that's from Baton Rouge, because I just feel like it's Fredo and YoungBoy. Like right now, it's Fredo and YoungBoy. That's the only two I ever hear about. So yeah, comment on other rappers from there. But if you guys like the reaction, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe. When you subscribe, turn that post notification bell on so you never miss a video. And I'll see you in the next video.